going over the homework, number 14, which we did second. Going over the homework, page 112.
I'll hold it.
I don't, but if, okay.
I won't touch it.
No, I'll tell you when to turn it on and off. It's the little button, don't touch. Okay, here we go. So, poor Matt has been waiting. Number 29, Matt?
Yes.
Oh, jeez, don't so mad at me. All right, this is page 112. Number 29. And again, you need your chart. The chart is your saving grace for this stuff. This says not P. I gotta keep, I think I'll hold it. Hold on. Your book likes the small letters. No biggie. Not P. And not Q. My eyes are jumping. Or not R. Did I get it? Make sure I get it right.
You did.
And what do you know about this? You only did part A. Remember I said only do part A? I think I put it in the digital copy. And it,
P and R is true, Q is false.
okay, so they give you P and R are true. And Q, so this is the given. You need this. This is sort of like the backdrop. So what is the very first step when you're doing this? What you're going to do on a one problem quiz coming up? What's your very first step?
Fill in the true and false.
Yeah, what is the T's and F's? Be smart, just right away.
Fill in the true and false.
Yeah, put them in. So here we go. This is really saying not T. Don't jump to the gun. I know that's false. Don't jump it. This is saying not R. I mean not S, excuse me. Am I right? Did you see it? And then not T. This green is too light. You're fired! Okay, we'll do red. So, tell me, what is not T? False, right? Everybody gets that, right? This says false and, oh, I don't even have to keep going. How come I don't have to keep going?
Because I just told you.
Because I notice it's an and false, and anything is going to be false. But I will keep going for your benefit, but work smart, not hard. I don't really have to even keep going right there, for that piece. So this is not F, which makes T. We'll come back. This is not T, which makes F. And like I just said, this has to be false. False and anything is false. And you know that by heart by now if you've been doing all these problems, because how many times do you have to look that up before you know? One part of an and statement is false, the whole thing is false. So we have an or though. Now we have false or false. What's your verdict? Yeah, if you have to look it up, look it up. That's an or a disjunction. If both parts are false, it's false. In fact, that's the only time a disjunction is false. If both parts are false. Matt, good? Okay, what else? What else from the homework? Yes, Haley. Your front's like the olives in your mouth. What? Which ones?
65 to 68.
Okay, you're on the next page now. You want to move? Does everybody want anything else from 112 before I move on to 122? Ren? 30. 30? Okay, let me write it down again. I'll write it in black. We'll continue that way. So this one, number 30, the one right after it. Same given. So I'm going to put it here next to it. 30 says, not P. My eyes are jumping. And not Q or not R?
Yes, or not.
Or not R. Thank you. Helping me out. Now, the first thing I notice, what is the very fundamental form of this statement? What is it fundamentally? It's an and statement. Why is it smart to notice that?
Because not P is F.
You only need to know one part is false. The whole thing is damn to hell. False. Did I say that? Sorry. Take that. Cut that part. Okay. All right. Ready? So here we go. Not P. Well, that's put in all your stuff. Putting my stuff in. Not Q. Putting it all in. Jerry. Not R. Put it all in. Right. Not Q. How am I doing?
T.
Thank you. And as soon as I see, don't be baby. Don't work hard, work smart. You've done this a million times. As soon as you see not true in an and statement, I don't care what that is. Ren, you asked for this one. Is that making sense? As soon as you see part of an and statement is false, the whole thing is false. Why? Look at your table. I'll do it for you just because I'm nice, but you don't need that part. But I'll do it just for practice, okay? Amanda, how we doing? So easy, you're like bored out of your skull, you look a little bit. Where's your stuff though?
Right here.
Oh, right here. Behind the coffee. Behind the coffee. This is not F, which is T, or false. True or false, what would that be, just for practice?
False.
True or false? False or true?
True.
Don't be guessing, look at your table.
It's true.
It's a true, because it's an or. That will be true. But it didn't matter, like I said, that's why that whole chunk's underlined. It didn't matter whether it was true or false, because we already knew the whole thing had to be false. Stop me if you're still stuck on that concept, because it's come up like twice now. In 5 minutes. Good? How were you able to do the ones that were words and had other stuff in there?
I was about to say, I changed my mind. I was rather do the 37 to 40.
One of those? I kept not gonna do all of them, but, all right, so could you pick one, look at page, we're still on 112, we'll move on in a minute. 37, I'd be happy to. It says, 37, right over here, am I still on camera? 37, I'm gonna just make sure the problem, she's gonna have to pinch.
What number?
37, 8 plus 7 equals 20, and then it says what?
Minus 5.
No, what's the next word? What's the word?
What do you mean?
It's not a word, it's numbers.
Oh, 20 minus 5, I see, it's not finished, okay. And then what's the connective? And what's the next part?
63 divided by 7.
63?
Yes.
63
Divided by 7 equals 3 plus 3.
equals 3.3?
3 plus
3
plus
times 3.
I gotta look, because you're all talking at the same time. 3 times 3.
Is 3 times 3 true?
Yes, it is.
3 times. A dot means times, yeah. Is that divided or minus? Are you sure that's divided? Yes, right. Okay.
Yes.
So here we go. You ready? So we're gonna do the same kind of thing here. We need to know if the pieces of this conjunction, conjunction. Why did I say conjunction? Because why? What does conjunction mean? I think you need something to focus you. Are you ready for this, kids? Just for you. Ready? What is a conjunction? Oh. I pulled it up. Oh. It's not that face. Conjunction means what? Conjunction means and. That's the way you can tell me. But so we're the same kind of thing. We might find out the same kind of things happen here. One part's true, false. If that's the case, so go over here. You got 8 plus 7, which is 15. It says equals 20 minus 5, which is 15. So that whole piece is what? True. So we have to keep going?
Yes.
Yes, we have to keep going because we don't know what's going to happen. 63 divided, what?
Sorry, it's not so I can end this now.
I can barely hear you. Let me finish this. 63 divided by 7 is 9. It says equals 3 times 3. True?
Yes.
So what you basically have in this matter, you cannot drop this word, is true and true. What is true and true?
True.
True it is. So the whole doggone thing is true. Circle. Hell yeah. Make sense? All 3 of those were ands. It's kind of interesting how, well, this started off as an or, this part. All right, I'm going to move on. Let's move on to page, what was it, 122?
C.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. C. 122. Let me get there. 122.
C isn't like this.
Yeah, I knew it too bad. C, not like part C. Okay. So we're on page 122. We already have request for
25, 38.
Okay, we'll do them both. 25, 38. You got it.
45.
45 and 48.
No.
What?
38. 38. I said,
Which one do you want to take?
I said 38.
But 122 doesn't have a 38, does it?
I said it before you even put it.
That wasn't part of the homework is what I'm saying. Oh, before you flip the page, you're still on 112?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, everybody. I must not have heard you because this here's clogged. 38. All right, look at 38. We'll do it. It's good stuff. 38. Why don't you just read it one person? You read it to me, Janae. Okay. 0 what?
Less than.
Nice and loud. What?
0 less than -2.
Okay.
Or 5 greater than or equal to.
Greater than what? You fizzled out.
Greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to
10.
what?
10.
10. Does everybody have that right? Is the first one less than and
Yeah, that's
not less than or
correct.
equal to, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so now let's do the pieces. Now, just for out of curiosity, in an OR, what is the game for an OR statement? This is close to it, I can make it shorter. An OR statement, under what conditions would an OR statement be false? Check your chart if you need to, you should go by heart. Well, when is an OR statement false? When they're both false, that's the only time. Just, you don't need that necessarily, but I'm gonna kind of remind you. 0 is less than -3, true or false? Already false. 5 is greater than or equal to 10.
False.
False. What is false? Don't drop the middle word, it's critical. What is false for? False.
False.
False. Done.
Okay, I had it right. I had to just.
Okay, good. That's okay. All right, now, we had a couple of questions, at least one on page 122, then I want to get you quantifiers. So, page 122, the first one I heard was 45, did somebody say? No? Which one? 45 you want? I can hardly hear you. 45? Okay, page 122, so it's switching. I'll start over. We don't need that. That'll go back. Get the big fat eraser. Okay. Okay, so this is now page 122, still the same homework assignment number what? 14. Put a box. We're doing now 122 and somebody asked for 45. Is that right? I can't hear to it.
Correct.
Thank you. P or Q. Oh, okay. It's if and only if. That's what that means. I don't like that symbol, but I told you about it. Q or not R. Now I need to give it, oh gosh, it's the same as last time. I erased it. P is true. What else? Q is false.
R is false.
And R is false. Thank you, Matt, for helping me. R is false. Okay. So we could have kept it up there. So here we go. In red. First step. What's the first step? Fill it in, right? Fill in what you know. With T's and F's. Easy stuff. So we got, help me with the D. T or F. I'm sorry, T and F. If and only if F or not F. Did I get that right? Check it. Everybody can do that. You get partial credit on your 10-point 1 problem quiz. Or 5-point problem. So here we go. T and F. What is that? False. Done it a million times today. If it's an and statement, if one part of that and statement is false, the whole thing is false. It's not the same with or. This now is false or T. True or false?
True.
True, because it's an or statement, otherwise known as a disjunction. An or statement or a disjunction doesn't matter if you have one of each, it's still going to be true because it says or. Now we have an if and only if. Now the symbol that I prefer for that is the 3 lines. You don't have to change it if you don't want to, but it means the same thing. What has to be true for it to be true? They have to have the same truth value on both sides. They do not. So false cannot be equivalent. If and only if means equivalent, false cannot be equivalent to true, so the whole thing is false. Did that help you? Good? This is not bad, but boy, that chart is handy, and it's imperative that you either know it, and I think by now you should certainly have a lot of it committed to memory, just using it. If you're doing the homework, you probably have a lot of it, or all of it committed to memory, or use it on the side. Okay, I'll do one more from page 122. What's that? Matt?
Did you do question number
65, sure. 65. Let me have a look. 65. Oh, I didn't get that one. Just kidding. Bad joke. What if the teacher said that? You're like, did you expect us to do that? Joke. All right, this one has some stuff we got to write down. So the following statements. And it says, suppose both of them are false. Interesting. So I guess I'm going to symbolize first, right? P means Muhundan spoke at the teacher's conference. Q means Muhundan received the Outstanding Teacher Award, but they're both false. So 65 says, if Muhundan received the Outstanding Teacher Award, stop. If, was that Q or P? That was Q, right? If Q, right? Follow me, stay with me. I'm not writing all that, what they stand for. It's right in front of you. If Muhundan received the Outstanding Teacher Award, that's Q, then Muhundan spoke at the teacher conference. Then, I'm going to use my arrows, he spoke at the teacher conference. But both of those things they said were false. So what is this conditional statement? Convert. In red. Well, you're right. Yeah, they're both false. It said in the given. So this is the question. False implies false. Or said the long way, if false, then false. Is false implies false true or false? It's true. It sounds odd and it sounds crazy, but we went through that already as to why, not going back. A conditional statement, which is what that is, a conditional statement is only false if the first part is true, the antecedent, and the second part is false, consequent. So if true, then false is false. That's the only time a conditional statement is false. You got to know that. Or be very quick with the chart. I'm going to give you one with knots and stuff, parentheses. So how are we doing? Okay. I think we should do the one problem quiz now, but there's a time limit because I have stuff I want to go over. The next thing with quantifiers, which you were really good with last time. So, should do the quiz last, just so I have time to get the notes in.
Wait, can you go over that stuff when we come back and break?
No, we cannot. We have very little time. You know what? If we do that, there'll be absolutely zero review. What they finally can. Is that what you want? No.
Wait, if we don't do what?
I have the days planned out, okay? So we have 3 days left. Today, next Tuesday, and next Thursday. That's it. So this is a tiny bit new. It's really not. We started it last week. But you haven't practiced it yet, so I want to do that today. Which is why if we do a one problem quiz, we cannot take a half an hour. We got to get to the stuff that we started last week. Or we're going to have no review at all. I'm counting on that last day being reviewed. But if we suck up the time today, we won't have to,
All right, well,
Let's get going, right? Yeah. So let me make one up. Or pick one from the book that you didn't do, baby. Let me just see. You all have your books? Because I can just go to the test at the end. And try it. Surface. Can you what? Yes, you may use the chart. You may. I'm looking for an appropriate problem. Not truth table. Not doing truth table. I'm looking for an appropriate problem that I deem appropriate. Hold the phone. No. Tell you what, let's just use, I'm going to make it up. And don't write it down. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to somebody help pass out the index cards. Can you pause the camera, please? Hit the little button once, it should do it. Nope.
I gotta do it.
I guess.